and struck it with his sword right in the eyes. Then it went mad and leaped and danced and flung out his legs in horrible jerks, until he killed it with another stroke, and then he fell down and remembered nothing more for a little while. There was a usual dim grey light of the forest day about him. When he came to his senses, the spider lay dead beside him, and his sword blade was stained black. Somehow the killing of the giant spider all alone by himself, in the dark, without help of the wizard of the dwarves, or of anyone else, made a difference to Mr. Baggins. He felt like a different person, and much fairer and bolder in spite of his empty stomach, and he wiped his sword on the grass and put it back into his shelf. "I will give you a name," he said to it, "and I shall call you Sting." After that he set out to explore. The forest was grim and silent, but obviously had first of all to look for his friends, who were not likely to be far off, unless they had been made prisoners by the elves or worse things. Bilbo felt that it was unsafe to shout, and he stood a long while wondering in what direction the path lay, and in what direction he should go first to look for the dwarves. "Oh, why did we not remember Baron's advice and Gandalf's?" he lamented. What a mess we are in now. I only wish it was we. It is horrible being all alone. In the end, he made a good guess. As he could at direction from which the cries for help had came in the night, and by luck he was born with a good share of it. He guessed more of it right, he guessed more or less right. As you will see, having made up his mind, he crept along as cleverly as he could. Hobbits are clever in quietness, especially in woods. As if I have already told you, also Bilbo had slipped on his ring before he started. That is why the spiders neither saw him nor heard him coming. He had picked his way stealthily from some distances when he noticed a place from a dense black shadow ahead of him, black even for the forest, like a pitch of the midnight that he never saw had made clearly away. As he drew nearer, he saw that it was made by spider webs, one behind him and one overtrangled with another. Suddenly he saw, too, that there were spiders, huge and horrible, sitting in the branches above him, and ring or no ring, he trembled with fear lest they should discover him. Standing behind a tree, he watched a group of them for some time, and then in silence and stillness of the wood, he realized that these loathsome creatures were seeking one another. Their voices were a sort of thin creaking and hissing, but he could make out many of the words that they say. Were talking about the dwarves. "It was a sharp struggle, but worth it," said one. "What nasty thick skins they have, to be sure. But I'll wager that juice is good juice inside." "Aye, they will make fine eating when they hung a bit," said another. "Don't hang him too long," said the third. "They are not as fat as they might be, been feeding none too well or late, I should guess." "Kill him, I say," hissed the fourth. "Kill him now and hang him dead for a while." Dead now, I want you," said the first. "That they are not. I saw one struggling just now. They just coming round again. I should say after a beautiful sleep. I will show you." With that, one of the fat spiders ran along a lope till it came to a dozen bundles hanging in a row from a high branch. Bilbo was horrified, now that he noticed that for the first time digging in the shadows to see a dwarfish foot sticking out of the bottoms of some bundles of here and there, the tip of nose of a bit of beard of a hut. To the fattest of the bundles the spider went. "It is poor old Bomber, I bet," thought Bilbo, and he nipped hard at the nose that stuck out. There was a muffled yelp inside, and a toe shot up and kicked the spider straight in the head. There was life in Bomber still. There was a noise like the kicking of a flabby football, and the enraged spider fell off the branch, only catching itself with its only shred just in time. The others laughed. "You quite liked the meat still alive and kicking." "I'll soon put an end to that," hissed the angry spider, climbing back onto the branch. Bilbo saw that moment had come when he must do something. He could not get up at the brutes, and he had nothing to shoot with. But looking about, he saw that in a place there were many stones lying in the earth to be a now dry little watercourse. Bilbo was a pretty fair shot, and it was a stone, and it did not take him long to find a nice, smooth, egg-shaped one, and that fitted his hand cozily. As a boy, he used to practice throwing squirrels at things, until rabbits and squirrels and even birds got out of his way as quick as lightning, if they ever saw him stoop, and even grown-ups. He had still spent a deal of his time at quiet dart-throwing, shooting at the wand, bows, nine pins, and other quiet games of the aiming and throwing sort. Indeed, he could do a lot of things besides blowing smoke rings, asking riddles, and cooking. That I haven't had time to tell you about. There is no time now. While he was picking up stones, the spider had reached Bumber, and soon he would have been dead. At the moment Bilbo threw it, the strong struck the spider plunk on the head, and it dropped senseless off the tree, flopped the ground, and with its old legs curled up. The next stone went whizzing through a big web, snapping its cords and taking off a spider sitting in the middle of it, whack dead. After that, there was a deal of commotion in the spider colony, and they forgot the dwarves for a little bit. I could tell you, they could not see Bilbo, but they could make a good guess at the direction from which the stones were coming from. As quick as lightning, they came running and swinging towards the hobbit, flinging out their long threads in all directions till the air seemed full of waving snares. Bilbo, however, soon slipped away to a different place. The idea came to him to lead the furious spiders farther and farther away from the dwarves, if he could, to make the curious excited and angry all at once. When about 50 had gone off to the place where he had stood before, he threw some more stones at these, and at the others they had been stopped behind the dancing among the trees. He began to sing a song to infuriate them, and began bring them all after him, and also to let the dwarves hear his voice. This is what he sang: "Old fat spider spinning in a tree, old fat spider can't see me. Attercop, you won't you stop your spinning and look for me. Oh Tomadilly, oh big body, oh Tomnoddy, don't spy me, can't spy me. Attercop, down you drop, you'll never catch me up your tree." Not very good, perhaps, but then you must remember that he had to make it up himself on the spur of a very awkward moment. It did what he wanted anyway. As he sung, he threw more stones and stamped. Particularly all the spiders in the place came after him. Some dropped off to the ground. Others raced along the branches, swung from tree to tree, or cast new ropes across the dark spaces. They made for him noise far quicker than he expected. They were frightfully angry, quite apart from the stones. No spider had ever liked being called Attercop or Tomnoddy. Of course, it's insulting to anyone. Off Bilbo scuttled to a fresh place, by several of the spiders had run now to different points in the glade where they lived, and were busy spinning webs across and all the spaces between the tree stems. Very soon the hobbit would have been caught in the thick fence of them. All around him, that at least was the spider idea. Standing now in the middle of the hunting and spinning insects, Bilbo plucked his courage and began a new song.